Hello, folks, and welcome to Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord. 1 second. Let there be sight. Fantastic. Sure, that's about right. Sure, this will do. We can adjust it, I'm sure. So, yeah, this is literally the first time I've opened it. Oh, hell no. Full size, baby. No gimping that. Lordy audio though. This too, because it makes it easier to audio test. For anyone doing their own videos, handy shorthand, lower it down to like a third volume. Like if the even master volume, or even if you have individuals, put them on about a third. That typically works. I'm using those settings and minus 8 decibels in OCD? OPS. Sorry, today's been a hell of a day and I have a split headache right now, so it's not great. Lurgy.
For 500 years, the Calradian Empire dominated the continent. Its armies scattered foes before them. The strongholds of proud tribes crumbled beneath its engines of war. From the forests of the north to the wastes of the south, all was brought beneath the standard of their legions. Brutal as the conquest was, the wise agreed that it brought peace. The land, now untroubled by armies, grew rich, but empires, like men, grow old. Leaders lose a common cause. Corruption spreads. Old enemies learn the Empire's tricks and devise new ones of their own. Until one day, the bonds holding the Empire snap. Then comes the Civil War, pitting all against all. A time of hatred. A time of suffering. But also, even in the worst hours, a time of courage and defiance. As new leaders arise, from new places and new peoples, to turn back the tides of destruction and bring forth a new world from the ashes of the old.
I've never seen this. So, culture. There's 6 cultures. Vandians. The Vandians are descendants of adventurers from the west who lived under the Empire for centuries before forming an independent kingdom. With the decline of imperial authority, they have evolved into a well-organized feudal society led by a caste of warlock nobles who prefer to fight with spears and lances on horseback. 10% production to villages that are bound to castles, 5% more renown from battles, and 15% more income while serving as a mercenary. But recruiting lords to armies costs 20% more influence. Sturgians. Excuse me. Sturgians are the descendants of the foreign tribes of northern Colradia. As the Empire expanded into the cold forest, they found a ready market for luxurious furs of woodland animals whom they traditionally hunted and trapped. Sturgian chieftains became princes, vying for preeminence with the help of Nord mercenaries whom emigrated into the realm. They're good hunters and wanderers, traveling far in search of opportunities for both trade and for plunder. Armies lose 20% less daily cohesion. Recruiting and upgrading infantry troops are 25% cheaper. 20% more relationship penalty from kingdom decisions. Empire. The Colradian Empire is in decline, even before the murder of Emperor Arenikios. The once united realm was torn by political rivalries. Today, those factions are in open war, yet Colradians endure. They are technologically more advanced than their neighbors, and mastery of engineering is not just evident in their aqueducts, beautiful architecture, and massive city walls. It also makes them experts in siege warfare. Being an army brings 25% more influence, 20% less garrison troop wage. Village hearts increase 20% less. Asari. The Asari are... I could not read that word there. The Asari are the inhabitants of the Nahasa Desert, a mixture of nomadic Bedouin and settled oasis farmers. They're famous for their horsemanship and their knowledge of the learning of many lands, especially medicine, gained from lying on some of the continent's most lucrative trade routes. Each clan is fiercely proud of its lineage and often jealous of the others, but when united by a charismatic leader, they become a major force in the south. No speed penalty on desert. Caravans, 30% cheaper to build, 10% less trade penalty. Daily wage of troops in the party increased by 5%. Kurzits. The Kurzit confederation of steppe tribes used to live a nomadic life, but have recently settled in the eastern frontier of the Empire and are slowly transitioning into an agrarian society with permanent town centers. Despite this, they still retain many aspects of their nomadic life, including their affinity with horses. They're masters of mounted archery, shooting and then galloping out of reach. 25% production to horse, mule, cow, and sheep in villages owned by Kurjit rulers. Recruiting and upgrading mounted troops are 10% cheaper, but 20% less tax income from towns. Batarians. Batarians still remember the olden days when the woods stretched across northern Colradia. The Empire and its cities had yet to violate their sanctity. The fierce warriors remain loyal to their traditional ways. They paint their faces when going to battle, and even their noblemen prefer to fight on foot while using great axes and two-handed swords with deadly efficiency. 50% less speed penalty and 15% sight range bonus in forests. Towns owned by Batarian rulers have +1 militia production, 10% slower build rate for town projects into settlements. They seem pretty good, honestly. Like, these all have advantages. I'm a little iffy on the Batarians' force stuff. But being a merc will only last me so long, so that becomes irrelevant. I suppose the Asari, you can get more caravans with them. Excuse me, it's easier to get caravans and there's less trade penalty. So the troops costing 5% more is less of an issue. Damn it. Let's go with these. Let's see. Is there randomization? Honestly, this guy looks huge. Like, I wish there was, like, a number to these, because it's just random heights. Or, like, some sort of frame of reference, you know? Because, you know, when he initially popped up, I saw Space Marine. When it's not quite that large. Oh. Sure, we'll go with this. Ah, I thought it changed his eye color, but it was just these changing in the corner of my eye. So, it just threw me off. Yeah, we'll go with this. As for his body...
Ladders up! Raise the ladders! Form a line! Hold your ground! Shields forward! Front men! Keep your ground! Form a line! We won! Fall back! Form up! Shields up! Keep your ground! Stand your ground! Stand fast! Get back! Move! Arm shields!
Okay, we can go with this. Chunk. I know. I'm sure Panda's happy right about now. But, oh, actually, what's Pit?
Shield wall! Line up! Soldiers! Infantry! Victory is ours!
Jesus Christ, that face!
Hold your position! Raise the ladders! Give them hell!
Okay. I'm kind of tempted in just saying, like, here. This seems fun. So, one-handed weaponry, two-handed polearm, bow, crossbow, throwing, riding, the care and breeding. Athletics, smithing, scouting, tactics, roguery, charm, leadership, trade, steward, medicine, and engineering. Oh, this is still in early access, by the by. I'll have the, it's like 1.6.4e, something like this. I'll have it in the session name, so I'll have it correctly in the episode titles. This will probably be a while before it comes out, so it's important to note that. It's according to backlog. Excuse me. It just, I like to go with backlog because, say if I can't edit for a while, I still have stuff coming out. If I just throw out stuff willy-nilly, like I had a year there where I couldn't actually edit. I still have tons of footage coming out because of it. You're born into a family of boyars, companions, urban traders, free farmers, urban artisans, hunters, or vagabonds. Your family numbered among the poor migrants living in the slums that grew up outside the walls of the river cities, making whatever money they could from a variety of odd jobs. Sometimes they did services for one of the region's many criminal gangs. 10 skill points, and 1 focus point to roguery and trolling. 1 attribute point to control. Your family had no taste for the authority of the boyars. They made their living deep in the woods, slashing and burning fields which they tended for a year or two before moving on. They hunted and trapped fox, hare, ermine, and other fur-bearing animals. 10 skill points and 1 focus point to scouting and bow. 1 attribute point to vigor. Your family owned their own workshop in the city, making goods from raw materials brought in from the countryside. Farmer played an active, if minor, role in the town council, and also served in the militia. 10 skill points and 1 focus point to smithing and one-handed. 1 attribute point to intelligence, and give me a sec. 1, 2, 3. Your family had just enough land to feed themselves and make a small profit. People like them were the pillars of the kingdom's economy, as well as the backbone of the levy. 10 skill points and 1 focus point to athletics and polearm. 1 attribute point to endurance. Urban traders. Your family were merchants who lived in one of Sergei's great river ports. Your family were merchants organizing the shipment of the North's bounty of furs, honey, and other goods to faraway lands. 10 skill points. 10 skill levels and 1 focus point to trade and tactics. 1 attribute point to cunning. 1, 2. Since I'm tired, I'm like just twitchy. I'm just paranoid of diction and the like. 1 second. Okay, here we go. And I'm back. Sorry, I had to disconnect my mic for a sec. The cable, while it was in right, it was in an obnoxious angle. It was kind of bending up before it would flow down. Now it's just flows straight down. Your father was a member of a boyar's Dracina. The companions that make up his retinue. He sat at the lord's table in the great hall, oversaw the various estates, and stood by his side in the center of the shield wall in battle. 10 skill levels and 1 focus point to writing and two-handed, and 1 attribute point to social. I do like the idea of using a two-hander. I love Viking Conquest, shield, two-hander in one hand. I could easily, I think I switched, you could even switch to a two-handed mode, which is actually how I've been playing Dark Souls, which you'll see at some stage. It may or may not come out by now. I don't know how the different backlogs are going and the like, so I still have a ton to edit in both RPG and RTS, so, which I'm putting this into RTS. Well, it's an RPG, there's enough, I'm bullshitting it in like I did Kenshi, basically, and Star Sector, you know, so there is RPG to it. It's but I'm just like, you know, fuck it. There's some strategy to it, and it's in real time. So, here we go. RTS, anyway, I would even put Civ under it. It just, it started off just being like StarCraft. So, it's just forced to have it, and a handy go-to. So, it's tempting towards these, but it's also tempting towards... Sure, we'll go with you. As a child, you were noted for your leadership skills. If the wolf pup gang of your early childhood had an alpha, it was definitely you. All the other kids followed your lead as you decided what to play and where to play, led them in games of mischief. 10 skill points, 1 focus point to leadership and tactics, 1 attribute point to cunning. You were big, and the other children looked to have you around in any scrap with other children from a neighboring village. You pushed a plow and threw an axe like an adult. 10 skill levels and 1 focus point to two-handed and throwing. 1 attribute point to vigor. These make me very good with that. I'm not too sure on ranged. I probably should have some ranged ability. Not sure what I'll go with. Maybe a bow. You were quick on your feet and attentive to what was going on around you. You could run away from trouble, though you could give a good account of yourself in a fight with other children if cornered. 10 skill points and 1 focus point to athletics, and bow and 1 to control. Athletics is an important thing. Most children around you had only the most rudimentary education, but you lingered after class to study letters and mathematics, fascinated by the marketplace, weights and measures, tallies and accounts, the chatter about profits and losses. 10 skill levels and 1 focus point to engineering and trade, 1 attribute point to intelligence. Trade will be good. You're always attentive to other people, good at guessing their motivations. You study how individuals are swayed and try to find out what you learn from adults and your friends. Demon child. 10 skill points, 1 focus point to charm and leadership, 1 attribute point to social. Demon child. You're always drawn to animals, and spend as much time as possible hanging out in village stables. Could calm horses and were sometimes called upon to break in new colts. You learned the basics of veterinary arts, much of which is applicable to humans as well. 10 skill levels and 1 focus point to riding and medicine, 1 attribute point to endurance. Like all village children, you helped out in the fields. You also herded sheep. You went with other fleet-footed youths to take the village's sheep, goats, or cattle to graze in pastures near the village. You're in charge of chasing down stray beasts and always kept a big stone on hand to be hurled at lurking predators if necessary. 10 skill points and 1 focus point to athletics and throwing, 1 attribute point to control. You were apprenticed to a local smith. You learned how to heat and forge metal, hammering for hours at a time until your muscles ached. 10 skill points and 1 focus point to two-handed and smithing, 1 to vigor. Okay. Repaired projects. You helped dig wells, retach houses, and fix broken plows. You learned the basics about the basics of construction, as well as what it takes to keep a farming community prosperous. 10 skill points and 1 focus point to smithing and engineering, 1 attribute point to intelligence. You were sent by the village healer up into the hills to look for useful medicinal plants, learned which herbs healed wounds and brought down a fever and how to find them. You accompanied the local hunters who went into the wilderness, helping them set up traps and catch small animals. Battle tactics control. You took your family's goods to the nearest market to sell your produce and buy supplies. It was hard work, but you enjoyed the hubbub of the marketplace. Trade, charm, and social. I'll go with this because I do want him to be like a melee combatant, and I do like the idea of him using swords. Two-hander weapons. Something's going on with your neck there, man. As a youngster growing up in Colorado, war was never too far away. You trained with the Heart Guard. Excuse me. You were a big and imposing enough youth that the Chief's Guard allowed you to train alongside them in preparation to join them someday. Gives you 10 skill points riding and polearm, 1 to endurance. Urban troops spent much, with guards with the garrisons. Urban troops spent much time guarding the town walls. Most of their training was in missile. Bow engineering. 1 to intelligence. Rode with scouts. All of Karadi's kingdoms recognize the value of good light cavalry and are sure to recruit nomads and borderers with the skills to fulfill those duties. Or a good enough rider that your neighbors pitched in to buy you a small pony and a sheaf of javelins so you could fulfill their levy obligations. And yet, I use a bow. Trained with the infantry. Levy armed with spear and shield. Drawn from small holding farmers, bows being the backbone of most armies of Coradia. 10 skill points. I may need to have a one-hander. I may not be able to... Is that a dent in the horse's head? Concerning. Explains why it's standing so still. I may not be able to... Like, in the Viking Conquest, you could have a two-handed sword in one hand and a shield in the other. And that was perfectly viable. Mightn't be able to do it here, so I may need to have one-handed weapons. Younger recruits, or those of a slighter build, or those too poor to buy a shield and armor, tend to join the skirmishers. Fighting with bow and javelin, they try to stay out of reach of the main enemy forces. This will also boost my ability in this up. Then again, I do need endurance. I do have some riding, which is important, I guess. And, yeah, I'll go with you. You also give one-handed, but no, we'll go with you. Yeah, trained with the infantry. Good. Before you set out for a life of adventure, your biggest achievement was defeated an enemy in battle. Not everyone who musters for the levy marches to war. Not everyone who goes on campaigns sees action. You did both, and you also took down an enemy warrior in direct 1-to-1 combat in full view of your comrades. So we get points in both one-handed and two-handed, a point of vigor, a point of valor, and 20 renown. A successful manhunt. When your community needed to organize a posse to pursue horse thieves, were the obvious choice. Hunted down the raiders, surrounded them, and forced their surrender, took your stolen property back. Tactics, leadership, cunning, 1 to calculating. It's a stat that's not there. And 10 renown. Invested some money in land. Parents didn't give you much money, but it did leave you just enough for you to purchase a plot of unused land at the edge of the village. You cleared away some rocks, dug an irrigation ditch, raised a few seasons' crops, and sold it for a considerable profit. Trading and smithing, intelligence, calculating, and renown. Onto the dangerous animal. Wolves, bears are a constant menace to the flocks of northern Colradia, while hyenas and leopards troubled the south. One with a group of fellow villagers and fired the missile that brought down the beast. Polearm, crossbow, control, and 5 renown. You had a famous escapade in town. Maybe it was a love affair, maybe you cheated at dice. Maybe you just chose your words poorly when drinking with a dangerous crowd. Anyway, on one of your trips into town, you got into the kind of trouble from which only quick tongue or quick feet get you out alive. Does get me a point of athletics. I can always put stuff in later, but I imagine it's best to start off with it. 1 to endurance, 1 valor, and 5 renown. Treat people well. Yours wasn't the kind of reputation the local legends are made of, but it was the kind that wins you the respect among those around you. You were constantly fair and honest in your business dealings, and helpful to those in trouble. In doing so, you got a sense of what makes people tick. Charm, steward, attribute point is social, mercy, generosity, and honor, 5 renown. I'm tempted towards this, but a steward is an important thing as well. So, sure. Like many families in Karadia, your life was upended by war. Your home was ravaged by the passage of army after army. Eventually, you sold your property and set off with your father, mother, brother, and your 2 younger siblings to a new town you'd heard was safer. but you did not make it. Along the way, the inn at which you were staying was attacked by raiders. Your parents were slain, and your two youngest siblings were seized. But you and your brother survived because you subdued a raider. You were able to grab a knife in the confusion attack. You stabbed the raider, blocking your way. You drove them off with arrows. You grabbed a bow and sent a few arrows the raider's way. Took cover, giving you an opportunity to flee with your brother. Yes, blood! Yay, blood! He looks far too happy. That's very rounded. Now he's more serious. Jumping on the two remaining horses in the inn's burning stable, you and your brother broke off the encircling raiders and rode off. You tricked the raiders. In the confusion attack, you shouted someone had found treasure in the back room. They made your way out of the undefended entrance with your brother. Roguery and tactics, 1 to cunning. You organized travelers to break out. You encouraged a few travelers in the inn to break out in a coordinated fashion. Raiders killed or captured most, but you and your brother were able to escape. Leadership and charm, 1 to social. Now I'm just imagining like a buddy movie with just like between the two brothers. It's just like, you know, getting up to medieval escapades, like raiders attacking the inn, and just comedic shenanigans of them winning, or them dealing with it. Just the goofy grins on both of them. I'm tempted towards that because athletics. But again, it will all level. Like, I can level it all, But it's best to start off with the points. I imagine it'll make life easier if I start off with a couple of points. I've seen some footage on this, but I don't know anything really about the game. And some of the footage I saw was modded. So... You prepare to set off with your brother on a mission of vengeance and rescue. Here's your character. Excuse me. Continue if you're ready, or go back to make changes. Savato. You know what? I actually like that. Savato. I guess. I'm not sure what to go out with. I'll just leave it as it is with Warrior. I'll just leave it as Warrior. Right. The fighting in the background struck me off. Brother, it's been 3 days now. It's been 3 days now. We've been tracking those bastards. I think we're getting close. We need to think about what happens when we catch them. How we're going to rescue Fodor and Aleshka. Are we up for a fight? This looks like an old training field for the legions. Perhaps we can spare some time and brush up on our skills. Practice can come in handy when we catch up with the raiders. So, do you think we'll catch up with the raiders soon? The tracks look fresh, and I've seen some smoke on the horizon. Can't move too quickly if they're still looting and raiding. No, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to rescue the little ones. Or die trying. Prayer. Well, if they're still pillaging, they may have split up in small groups. Hopefully we won't need to take them all on at once. But it would help if we could hire or persuade some people to join us. I'm gonna run the course. I need to know if I need to know I can fight if I have to. Let's go on then. I should know the way of doing it, but... Ooh. Ooh. One second, folks. 17, 18, 19, 20. Hey, folks, sorry about that. Cal was crying outside. Wouldn't mind. I had to go check on her. So... I can just slowly push him around. Okay, I'm getting it now. Okay. I played a fair bit of the... like Warband and Viking Conquest. Well, yeah, played a fair bit of that. It's been a long time, but I played a fair bit of it. I know particular strikes are inherently faster. I think a left-hand strike is the fastest. The overhead strike does the most. May want to switch roles. Yeah, I'm definitely using a shield. Is there a way of adjusting how this works? Jesus. This a fool heals me. Okay, I think you'll be getting your own back here. Or maybe not. Okay, that was funny. Yeah, I think I'm good enough. I want to break the pottery. I'm ready, let's go. Weave? Before we do anything else, we're on food. There's a village north of here where we can buy provisions and find some help. You're a better rider than I am, so I'll let you lead the way. Wait, why did I lose money? I have to pay my brother? Stingy goit. He's also very much a higher level than me. You've arrived at Heya. To explore the location, you can enter the settlement by pressing the highlighted button on the left. We're here, I guess. So, we need food, and after that, maybe some men to come with us. The headman here can probably help us. Let's try and find them. Oh. That was Alt. Whoops. Oh, there he is. Didn't see him initially, so I thought it was just a close range sort of thing. Didn't think they positioned me away from him. Oberon, headman of this village. What brings you here? We need help. Some raiders have taken our younger brother and sister captive. We think they may have passed this way. They got your people too. Sorry to hear that. Those bastards done a bit of killing and looting, needed these parts as well. We think they've gone north. I reckon there are a few folk around here who will join you in going after them if you'll pay for their gear. Once you made your preparations, come and talk to me again. I have a task for you for going after raiders. To leave mission, you can hold that. It will take you to the settlement tab, where you can purchase supplies and hire recruits. Headman's troop? Jesus. Notables help you recruit more and better higher level troops according to your relationship with them. Click on some troops, move them into your party. Expensive. Two sacks of grain. Here's a task for us. He's powerful, apparently. Glad to see you found what you needed. Now, about that matter I mentioned earlier. There's this wandering doctor who comes through here from time to time. Name of Tektios. Treats people for free. We're fond of him. Last we saw him we last saw him a few days ago. He's carrying some sort of chest, which he was very mysterious about. He was on some sort of quest, he said, though he wouldn't tell us more. Set off on the road just a few hours before the raiders came through here. Well, he's not really a worldly type. Just the kind of fellow who'd stumble into a trap and let himself be captured. We're worried about him. If you keep an eye out for him, this Tektios will be very grateful. Maybe, if you still have him well, he'll tell you a little more about his quest. Attack. Charge by 1, then F3.
Get them!
I have no idea what he just said. Maybe I should dismount. Oop, move. How do I dismount?
Give them ground! Cut them down!
There we go. Radagos is a raider. By running, I should start leveling my athletics, which will mean I'll run faster. Pokey stick. Could someone hit him? Woodlands is not great for horses.
The day is ours!
Weaker, but slightly lighter. Ooh, I actually think I leveled up. Could have.
Give them hell!
We'll get on my horse. You'll let me at least get in close. Sorry. Okay, E is kick. I need to get used to that. I played a lot of Fallout last night. I'm used to E being interact. Poor horse. I just walked up and kicked it. Salvado, he's got problems.
Victory is ours! You coward! No quarter! We've been blessed!
Yes. Don't get XP unless I kill them.
Well fought! We whipped the bastards!
Yes. Also, gameplay. You. So I leveled up and have a single spare focus point to spend. It increases the rate you earn it at. I think I'm going to put it into this so I can run faster. Oh, we're going to run faster. Faster. There they are. Attack.
Get them!
I suppose I might not dislike riding too much if I can get a better sword for it. Assistance! Nice. Also, I didn't think this was in the base game. I thought I saw someone saying that you had to have a mod for this. So I'm glad they made a base game. Ooh, got 100 gold. You rescue several prisoners that raiders have been dragging around. Parched and exhausted, you give them a bit of water and bread, and after a short while, one staggers to his feet and comes over to you. I don't know who you are, but I'm in your debt. These brigands would have marched us to our deaths. My name is Tectios. I'm a doctor by trade. I was on, well, a bit of a quest. And I don't think I'm not really made for this kind of thing. I was with a caravan and they just came out of the brush. We were surrounded in a number, so we gave up. I figured they'd keep us alive, if just for ransom, but then they started fogging us along at top speed. Without any water, I was just about ready to drop. I could feel the signs of heat stroke creeping up, and I told them, but they just kept fogging me more. If your group hadn't come along, maybe I have a way to thank you properly. Looking for 2 children. By the captured raiders. Can you tell us anything? I'm afraid I haven't seen any children. Whenever the caravan was attacked, the chief of the raiders, the one they called Radagos, took and rode off with our more valuable belongings, including a chest that I had. He seemed to be controlling more than one band raiding around here. This lot has your kin. I think you'll be the one to know. And since I have nothing of value left to repay your help, I'll tell you this. If you do catch up and defeat that ruffian, maybe you'll recover my chest. It contains a valuable ornament which I was told could be of great value if you knew where to sell it. I'm trying to find out more about it, but as I say, I've had all my urge of traveling fogged out of me. Right now, I don't think I'll venture more than 20 paces from a well as long as I live. We'll keep that in mind. Doesn't look like much, and I suspect this lot will give it away for a few coins. But I got it from a mercenary, whom I once treated once, and swore it was related to Nertet's folly. I don't know what that means, except that Nertet's was, of course, the emperor who died in battle some years back. Maybe we can find out its true value. Thanks for saving me again. Our paths will cross again. I'm a little battered. I'm nearly here. This will be good. I need to get a shield. Let's just head over here for a sec. All right. Can I rest here? No. Oh, this is his hideout. I could actually recruit his own raiders against him. Since I'm battered right now, I'm actually training very slowly. Skill of medicine. Our troops follow you with F. Okay. So yeah. They start off without them knowing of you. Well, that's about to change soon. Thank you. No, I don't have a shield. Can I nick this shield? No. Oh. Charge in, please. Ooh. God, I'm bloodied. The return split up. I kind of missed the map I could order them around from in Warband. That was nice. Ooh. He really dislikes me. Yes. Please don't be a duel. So, who's this that comes through my place of business? Killing my employees. We heard you took our little brother and sister. Where are they? Good heaven. I need a better description than that. My men have harvested dozens of little brats in this region. What good hunting grounds. Although already sent most of them south to a slave market I know though. Since your hunt for your kin is fruitless, why would you clear off and save your own lives? I'd rather I force you to lick up all the blood you spilled here with your own tongues. Or you and I could settle this one-on-one. I don't do slavers. Men, attack. That's why. Whoa. Wait, did brother actually outright die?
Heaven be praised! We showed them! We won!
Okay. The symbol, I was a little concerned. Oh, I recognize the film when I see it. If I'm going to be your captain, let me introduce myself. I'm Radagos. I haven't cut my throat yet, which was a wise move. I'm sure I can find a way to be worth more to you alive than dead. It better help us get our brother and sister back, or you'll swing from a tree. Oh, you'll need my help, all right. If you want to get them back alive, that is. See, my boys have some pretty specific instructions about what to do if there's a rescue attempt. Shall we get on the road? Remember, if I drop dead of exhaustion or drown in a river, that's it for your little dears. I don't expect a cozy pal quit now, but you best not make it too hard a trip for me. I can actually apparently recruit 6 of them. Let's not. You come across a chest with an old piece of bronze in it. So battered and corroded it could have been anything from a cup to a crown. This must be the chest Tektos mentioned to you, that has something to do with Nertetz's folly. I was hoping to find more treasure here, but I think business wasn't going too well for Radagos and his gang. I found this strange-looking metal piece, though. It doesn't look too valuable. It could be the artifact that Tektos was talking about. Or we could sell to one of the noble clans for a hefty price. Alright then, let's get on the road. A better idea. We would have a better chance if we split up now. I'll take Radagos and go find the slaver market, and look for a way to free the children. Where we must be careful not to endanger their lives. It could be better to and it could be better to just buy them. We need to have our purses full for that, though. I'll need to take these men with us. Rather go to the slippery one. I don't want them getting away. So you want me to raise the money to ransom the little ones? Indeed. You'll have to find a way to do that. Maybe this bronze thing can help. Like those said, it could be worth a fortune to the right person, if you manage not to get killed. If you tell the truth, you must be careful. Never reveal that you have it, but try to understand its value and how it can be sold. One more thing. When you're talking to nobles and other people of importance, make sure to present yourself as someone from a distant but distinguished family. You can use your family name if you like, or make up a new one. You have a better chance of obtaining an audience with nobles, and it's easier for me to find you by asking around. Wish they gave me a default one. But, Teledros. Yeah. Oh, isn't that one of the Nazca lines? Not quite. Okay, you need to get that horse checked out. That's not right. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. Tutorial is over. You're now free to explore Calradia. Okay. Basher, or shoot Basher to do 50% more damage. No. Have their one-handed combat effectiveness as if they're one tier higher. One-handed weapons you wield have their handling increased by 20%. I'm not quite sure what handling is, but that sounds fantastic because I probably won't be shield bashing. Oh. Yeah, recruit these. It's a tavern. Let's see. Anyone of interest? Do I have anything for you? Oh, sir. The bearing of a warrior. Do you have a minute? We may have interests in common. Splendid. I suspect you may, in your honor work, occasionally acquire a few captives. Could possibly take them off your hands. And pay you, of course. Are you a slaver? Ah, no. Slavers are rare these days. It used to be that, when the Empire and its neighbors made war with each other, people were used to taking the slaves. They'll pay for the war, you see. But today, for better or for worse, that's not practical. What with the frontiers broken, raiders crossing this way and that, there are far too many opportunities for captives to escape. But that does not mean the war cannot be profitable. Indeed, it still can. Many captives are still taken, and families will pay to have them back. Men such as I crisscross the Empire and the Outer Kingdoms, acquiring prisoners and contacting their kin for a suitable ransom. So were you to acquire a few prisoners in one of your victorious affrays, and wish to relieve yourself of their care and feeding, I or one of my colleagues will be happy to pay for them, sort of speculative investment. Other families can't pay. Oh, I suppose I could sell them to republics of Goria, to roll their galleys, even though in Goria they prefer free oarsmen these days. But it rarely comes to that. Be surprised what sort of treasures a peasant can dig out of his cowshed or wheedle out of his cousins. What can I get for a prisoner? It varies. I fancy I have a fine eye for assessing a ransom. There are a dozen little things about a man that tell you whether he goes to bed hungry, or spices his meat with pepper and cloves from the east. Root money, of course, is the aristocracy, and if you ever want to do my job, you learn about every land-owning family or tribal chief in Coradia, their estates, their offspring, both lawful and bastard, and of course, their credit with the merchants. Would you put the ransom me if I were taken? Of course. I'm welcome at every court in Coradia. There's not many who can say that. So, always be sure to keep a pot of dinars buried somewhere, and a loyal servant who can find it in a hurry. Well. Sadly, yeah, I lost out on those dudes. Hello. What can I bring you, sir? Would you like to taste your local specialty? A glass of local wine with a plate of olives? I'm fine, thank you. Task for someone like me. Rumors about the markets, caravans, that sort of thing. Any scandals? Okay, he knows nothing. Or at least isn't willing to tell me anything. Just run off with someone's boots. It was more a fall than I expected. Ow. Let's see what you have for sale. With pleasure. I also lost out on all the loot I got, too. And the gear. You know, game, that's pretty mean. Wait, armor. Got any shields? Okay. I haven't seen stuff marked with blue before. No. Ah, okay. Oh, that's annoying. Here we go. Okay, let's grab a bit more food. I don't have anything. That'll be something I'll play with later on. I am Savato, sir. May I ask your name? I am Pimendos. I'm a craftsman, a working man. All the other honest men here in Archon, the ones that work with their hands, they like me to speak for them. I'm not heard of you, but we look of a man who might make something of himself someday. Good question. Never mind. Well, there are many goods around town that can bring good money if you trade them. Caravan you formed will do this for you. You need to pay at least 15,000 to hire running caravan guards. Form a caravan, you need one companion to lead them. I am Denos, a merchant here in Icaron. I own a silversmith here. I know your name. I hear you recently caught some bandits around here. I say good work, and I think other merchants around here will agree. Cleanse the roads to those vermin, and the trade so that the trade can flow. Well, and who do we have here? Would you care to tell me your good name? I am Sanyon, a merchant here in Archon. I know your name. I hear you caught some bandits. Speaking as a merchant, we appreciate any efforts to make our roads safer.